Hi TRP kids, I'm Kate Hakeem. You can call me Kate or Miss Kate or Mrs. Hakeem or Ms. Hakeem or Senora Hakeem, whatever you want to call me, that's fine. I want to share with you guys a story about Jesus, and it comes from the book of John in the Bible, chapter 10, and I'm going to read it first and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So starting in verse 11, Jesus says, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The hired hand is not the shepherd who owns the sheep. So when he sees the wolf coming, he abandons the sheep and runs away. Then the wolf attacks the flock and scatters it. The man runs away because he is a hired hand and cares nothing for the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me, just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that are not of this sheep pen. I must bring them also. They too will listen to my voice, and there shall be one flock and one shepherd. The reason my Father loves me is that I lay down my life, only to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have authority to lay it down and authority to take it up again. This command I received from my Father. At these words, the Jews were divided again. Many of them said, he is demon-possessed and raving mad. Why listen to him? But others said, these are not the sayings of a man possessed by a demon. Can a demon open the eyes of the blind? So in this story, again, that was from the book of John, starting chapter 10, verse 11, I think to 21. So in this story, Jesus was saying, I'm the good shepherd. He means that the people that he cares about and that follow him are like the sheep, and Jesus is the shepherd. A shepherd is someone who takes care of his sheep. But in the story, he was talking about just normally a shepherd or a hired hand. They don't really care that much about the sheep. They're just trying to do their job. So if a wolf comes, they're going to let the wolf take one and they're not going to want to get hurt. But Jesus is saying that I'm the good shepherd and I will not let anything happen to any of my sheep. He's saying that nothing can keep Jesus and the Father in heaven from showing their love for us, the sheep. He loves his sheep so much that he would die for them. He would fight a wolf. He would let his sheep graze and then bring them back to safety. He will not let a wolf grab a sheep and then leave and run away, just like a hired hand. Instead of what a hired hand might do, who that person would just be like, oh, well, one sheep gone is not a big deal. But to Jesus, it's a big deal. Every single person is a big deal to Jesus. At the end of the story, some of the people, the Jews, it said, were listening to him and they thought that he was sounding kind of crazy because in the Old Testament, God kind of referred to himself as Israel's shepherd. And so they think that Jesus is a little bit crazy for saying that he is just like God. It sounds like he's saying that. But Jesus knows the Father. He knows God, and he isn't crazy. He actually is the good shepherd. Not everyone understands that who's listening to him, and not everybody is kind of on board with his idea that he is the shepherd and he's taking care of his people. Nothing is ever going to stop Jesus from loving us. And that's kind of the main message of this story. I also wanted to take a second and share with you a passage from another book in the Bible called Psalms, and I want us to try to memorize Psalm 23. So it's from the Old Testament, and in the Old Testament, God talks like he's the shepherd as well. And a shepherd protects the sheep. So I want to try to memorize this, and I'm going to read the whole part from Psalm 23 right now, and then today, maybe after this, you can practice the first part, and then next time we'll do another part, and then we'll do it, kind of break it up into 3 parts. So here it is, Psalm 23. It says, "The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I really love that psalm. It's very calming and peaceful, and just, it really shows God's love and protection for us as our shepherd. And let's just say the first part again. And that's the part I want you to try to memorize this week if you can. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. So that first part, the Lord's my shepherd, I shall not be in want, makes me think of, if I have God, then I have everything I want. I don't need anything else. I'm good. And the second part, he makes me lie down in green pastures. When I think of that, I think of sheep laying in a nice green field and resting. They're peaceful. They have their place and they're protected. And we can feel that way too. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. For me, I especially love this verse because I really love water. If you know me, then you know that I am a swimmer. I used to teach swimming lessons. I was on a swim team when I was a kid and even when I was an adult. And even now, I'm kind of on a swim team. I really love the water. The water makes me feel refreshed and it makes me feel awesome. So I really love that this verse is in the Bible because other people have also found water to be really peaceful and restorative. He restores my soul. So God and Jesus, they give life to our souls, like deep inside of us, who we are. God gives that to us, and Jesus restores us and makes us who we are supposed to be. And the water is just a beautiful image. You can imagine maybe the ocean or maybe a river, maybe a stream, whatever quiet water you think of, but it's just a really beautiful image. And that's it. I hope this week you can think about some of those things, how God is and Jesus are good shepherds and they love us and they care for you and they will restore your soul. All right, that's it. Bye.